We are under the most serious scrutiny than anybody in the United States, that is Muslims. And we have been, since I can remember, for decades upon decades. And so we want to thank the Muslims for, we go out with them boxes and they must stumble and they put $5 or $10. Some put some serious money in there. Well, we appreciate it. And so we'll be out going to each masjid where we've been, or a few of them, with a letter of appreciation and food, the funniest thing now, the other day, the brothers was watching. It was 2-3 days ago. The line is going all around the place, and everybody's lining up, and they don't understand it because this is free. Yes, fi sabilillah. So they're not technically, they got the trucks all lined up there. The trucks they're not passing out no free food. But we're passing out free, nice, hot meals. You know how the meals are around here. We passing out those. So the people were so ashamed inside running the thing, they sent an Indo-Pakistani brother out to say, we sure appreciate that. Why don't you let me serve the food? He owns a halal place, Why don't you let me do this, brother? You did so much. Why don't you let me do this? So, now remember, say 70-80% of the people is Indo-Pakistanis. Now, if they came out and they see black people doing some work, but he's standing there at the front of the table, what do they expect? We work for him, right? So we said, no, that's okay. We got it covered. And he came back 3 or 4 times, brother, you just got to let it. It was a picture. He was Afro-Americans at a conference, right, of mixed Muslims giving away, I don't know how much, it would probably be, would they charge for a plate? Like about $15 at least, and then it wouldn't be that good. I'm not saying our food is good, but you'll get a chance to try a little. This will drop down there. This will get you whet your appetite. Anyway, look, they couldn't see it. And then the next day, well, that evening when we got back, we did some more. We'd have breakfast in the morning, some French toast and stuff like that. You may not believe it, but boss man came in, and the food we had already prepared, he actually took it. Because I'm not a teenager, so when we got back, I went straight and laid down for about an hour to get my legs back together, and then to come over and cook. When I came over to cook again, it might have still been here. It might have been gone. I'm pretty sure it was gone by then. But it was only like some meats we had fixed and prepared, and Negro eggs, of course. Now, guess what only thing we needed over there, after the line went around the block at the same time, is we happened to need more eggs and more just what was missing. This is a morning meal, a breakfast, so we wasn't going full, but so we got French toast and we got eggs and something else. But in fact, we had chicken out there because we was going to have chicken and waffles, which people are eating now. Are people eating chicken and waffles? Well, y'all know more about it than me. But anyway, somebody came out and cleaned the place out of that type of thing. And then, guess what? This morning when I was down there, they put the food back. course, we're going to throw it away because we can't be taking food and then bringing it back and we're going to eat it. That's like, yeah, sure. You know. So the food that they took, I'm telling you, the food was gone. Because, I mean, if you're looking in the refrigerator up and down and you don't see nothing, and either last night or this morning, I was preparing something and I opened the refrigerator and I said, oh, there's the food that disappeared. So we'll throw it out because, but the point is, why would people do that? Because they don't want to see anybody like us bringing something to the game, contributing. They want to see us in need all the time. This is the way the Zionists, the picture that they draw of Americans, is those are always needy and they're troublemakers and they're not problem solvers and none of that, right? That's the way the Zionists and boss man want to show us. So, but here's what the Quran wants. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Who is better in speech than one who calls men to Allah, works righteous deeds, and say, I'm a Muslim. And when we have a program, you don't have to worry. It's going to be full of Palestine, Yemen, everything that you hear on the news where we're being attacked. That's the main thing you're going to, well, as y'all already know, that's what all we talk about. Why? Because those are our brothers and sisters over there. And the Zionists don't have no right to treat us like that. And we don't have no right in Islam to keep our mouth shut when that's happening. Anyway, we're going to speed up. وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَاتُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَاتُ أَدْفَعَ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. Nor can goodness and evil be equal. Goodness and evil is not the same. Repel evil with that which is better. This is a little beyond turn the other cheek. But it's like if somebody steals something, we do something like Imam Zainul Abidin did when they stole his shoes. He said, may Allah make it halal for them. So that's what we say to Muslims. Not only if they run off with a little bit of food, they wasn't going to eat it. They just wanted to keep it away from other people. That must be something, that must be a psychopathic type of a person that has some issues with his brain and body and internal makeup. Nor can goodness and evil be the same. Repel evil with that which is better. That's our position. If people do something, this is different, this is bigger than turn the other cheek. No. This is saying if somebody do you stupid and crazy stuff, do something better for them. Repel their evil with goodness. Then between whom and thee was hatred become as it were a friend and enemy. Adawatun ka'annahu waliyun hamimun. They use the word wali and hamim. So those people, now I'm talking specifically about Americans. We put Zionists in there, but Zionists are pretty mean folks. The boss man is just a mean old white man, so he can be redeemed, maybe. So although he's been our perpetual slave master for I don't know how many years. We got a soft spot for boss man, but it's softer than the Zionist. See, we've dealt with Zionists before, and Zionists are 5 times as mean and hateful as mean old boss man. Now, I know you think, since that's all you ever dealt with personally, is the mean old Euro. He's bad. He's bad. But the Zionists are much worse. This is from experience. So, da'watun ka'annahu waliyun hamimun. You can hear the word wali. Not only are we going to treat him better, but we're going to become his wali. Now that's, you say, okay. Here in America, the American people are slow. You have to admit that. With all the stuff that's going on in America, they haven't clicked yet, right? They have mass shootings every other day now. It's every other day. Really, it ain't no like making it up. Mass shootings. The people have gone crazy. And they still rolling around like us. Well, we'll just fix the gun laws. You know, Americans have always had guns. They'd had tons of guns. Why wasn't they shooting everybody before? Because they had some self-control. The guns had purpose. They had to kill niggers. They had to kill Indians. They had purpose. They're not just to go, and you know what I mean. And of course, anyway, it's a long story. Now, the people will mass murder little children that definitely haven't had. Look, all of them is going to heaven. Why? Because they have not reached the level of age of maturity, and they never had a chance to do right or wrong. They just children, right? Can you imagine that somebody is going so crazy? Something in the environment is making people so crazy consistently now that their target is people who had nothing to do with nothing, little children. So most of the mass murders now are little children or poor Negroes going to a store to buy, probably is going to buy some bacon. I say against them, but they was going to the store in the Negro neighborhood. And they just shoot them all up. Nah, I mean, we're against haram, but we don't want to shoot nobody because they going in the pork store, right? But somebody want to kill them just for being black. They want to kill little children for being innocent little children. Mass murder. Mass murder. And somebody don't realize that something has got to be wrong. But they just rolling right along. We got to try to fix this. I know you think, well, why should we want to fix it? The word hamimun and wali. Hamim is like warm water. Yeah, hamim is warm in Arabic. So it's like, and wali, a friend, protector, administrator, takes care of you, a lawyer or something like that. That means that you, me and you, we adopt these ayats, series of ayats, we're going to have to become friends and protectors of these murderers and killers here. That's what they are now. They're not that's not the turn of the cheek. That's bigger. That's serious. And people say, man, you sure that's what's going on? I said, that's what it says. Waliyun hamimun, mean they're gonna be warm and friends and protected, sanctified people. Intimate friends. And no one will be granted such goodness except those who exercise patience and self-restraint, none but persons of the greatest good fortune. So this is telling us, he's serious about, no one will be granted such goodness except those who exercise patience, restraint, and self-control. None but the people who are very fortunate. وَمَا يُلَاكَهَا إِلَّا ذُو حَتٍ عَظِيمٍ. I think big. These people are going to be very, very fortunate. Yeah, they're going to be very fortunate. That's us. Actually, it also means they're going to be very lucky. Since we don't gamble, we don't believe in luck. But we do associate that a little bit, saying, hey man, the people that can absorb this, they're going to be some real fortunate and lucky people. Okay, before closing, I'd like to talk about a few things. One is, how do you face and deal with certain things? The system will try to wear you down and wear you out. The other response is to change the policy to have them wear you up instead of wearing you down. That means the more they do to you, the stronger and better you get. This is possible. But it's only possible if you incorporate this Quran, that you're part of Kuntum Khayra Umatin Ukrijat Lil Nas. You're part of the best community evolved and raised up for mankind. Now, they have something that we're going to call post-traumatic growth. Post-traumatic growth is, they have post-traumatic syndrome, whatever stuff they, you get involved in that, it runs you crazy and make you do dumb stuff. Post-traumatic growth is different. Post-traumatic growth is what we do. Post-traumatic growth is the dumb stuff, like if we're going to serve food the next day, somebody run off with half the food. It's supposed to make you mad. Don't make us mad. Make us happy. Well, it has to make you happy. If you don't, you'll allow the system to form your brain and your thinking and your hopes and dreams and aspirations. And they'll make you, every time you see somebody, instead of loving them, you'll hate them. Yeah, and every time you see a white man, you'll be mad. Every time you see a Jew, you'll be mad. Not the Zionists. You can be mad at the Zionists, but not the... We got great friends, you know. Some people, they seen some of one thing. We had a big rally out here somewhere downtown, and the Jews were there, you know, and the Turukati, the rabbis, you know, with the big long beards and the big hot. This time it was cool day, but I don't care if it's 100 degrees outside. They coming with their big fur hats. I say, you some bad boy, I tell you, because if it's a Saturday, they have somebody read their statement. They'll stand there on that stage in the July sun. Just, I don't know what's going on with them, because they don't even be sweating. I said, Allah cooling y'all off, man. Because just to even look at that stuff y'all got on, I'm hot. But they're good people. When they refer to Allah, the Almighty, right? So there's a difference in peoples. And when they see us, they say, oh, our friend. So post-traumatic growth is when things happen to you, it don't make you sad, mad, and bad. It makes you glad. And it enthuses you, and it makes you want to do more. Post-traumatic growth. Tazkiyah and goal setting. Tazkiyah is purification. They say set goals, big goals, but Tazkiyah and goal setting mean that the purification of goal setting. I'm not goal setting to have just a whole lot of money or a big house. I'm goal setting to do good deeds. What Allah wants me to. Amilu salihat, right? This is our goal. So that's why our pattern sometimes shifts a little. And it shifts back a little bit to giving before we receive. If you want to make life worth living, you got Quran and Hadith to tell you what will make life important. All the other stuff that they're selling and running around with, it ain't doing nobody no good. Somebody, when I was in one of our places, was getting a magazine, a People magazine. So up until last month they kept it. I'd just look at the People magazine. And I'd look at those people in Hollywood, they're rich and everything, and they're some of the best looking people you ever seen, and they all was crazy and all unhappy, right? Something's going on. They got everything that they have to offer in this world, right? They got it in spades. Why aren't they happy? Why is the Negro happy? Always laughing, talking out of the side of his mouth. I don't know. We have to figure that out. Design destiny has to do with controlling your destiny. You will be judged on the day of judgment according to what you do. And Allah wouldn't judge you according to what you do unless He gave you the ability to choose your destiny, choose your goals, choose what you want to do, and choose how you want to do them. So, write your own book. Write your own future. When you have a program, make sure you put Muslims in there. And if they're struggling in Palestine, make sure you put that in there. If they're struggling in Yemen, make sure you put that in there, right? I'm not saying that's what we do, but we try to do that. So you're going to call hundreds, or you're going to call thousands of people together and not even mention not one of the real issues that's affecting the Muslims. That's pretty good. You know what that is? White folks call it creative avoidance. Creative avoidance. You're very creative in avoiding things that you don't want to deal with. You're creative. You can think up ways to avoid it. I mean, nobody else can. You're the champion, right? You hold a record in creative avoidance. Nobody can touch you in that art of how to avoid what you don't want to do, right? You're very creative, very inspirational, very dynamic. You do it with excellence, with finesse, with perfection. That's the Negro in America. And I'll close with this. He's been creatively avoiding his mission. Allah got him here for a mission and hooked him up with Islam, and he's trying to avoid the mission. So he's running around with his pants all up in the air, looking like a fool, trying to avoid what he's supposed to do. What's that? وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. O Allah, we seek thy refuge from anxiety and grief. We seek thy refuge from lack of strength and laziness. We seek thy refuge from cowardice and niggardliness. And we seek thy refuge from being overpowered by debt and the oppression of men. O Allah, suffice us with what is lawful. Keep from us what is prohibited with thy grace. Make us free from what of what is besides thee. Ameen.